Once, victory began with a wall of metal crawling up a beach. Thousands of men, hundreds of vehicles, one horizon of fire. Today, that image belongs to history books. In the next war, there may be no beaches to storm, only coordinates to infiltrate. The age of the beach landing is ending. Its replacement doesn't wear helmets. It hums, flies, and thinks.
We are following breaking news tonight as a massive swarm of unidentified drones has appeared over the downtown skyline.
Every generation of Marines has crossed water differently. Wooden craft at Tarawa, steel monsters at Incheon, hovercraft at Basra. Each era chased the same dream, reach land first. But technology keeps changing what first means. Now satellites see everything. Missiles erase anything that moves too soon. The enemy is no longer on the beach. They are miles inland, waiting for us to commit. That is why the Corps has abandoned the doctrine of mass firepower and adopted digital dispersal. So the next amphibious assault won't begin with waves of armor. The value of a soldier is now measured by the information they can gather, not just the ordnance they can deliver. And that real-time intelligence is the only shield that protects the force before the landing begins. Autonomy is creeping into the surf zone. Unmanned surface vessels scout ahead. Tiny, fast, expendable. Underwater drones clear mines before humans ever launch. Above, swarms of aerial drones map beaches, sniff radar signals, and jam defenses. Each one feeds data to ships dozens of miles away. The first wave of any future landing won't carry Marines. It will carry algorithms. The air and the water are filled with eyes that report to no one but the nearest computer. Their primary mission? Electronic silence. They must jam the defenses and create a digital fog over the battlefield. This autonomous mine clearance makes the landing approach infinitely safer for the human element. The true payload isn't firepower, it's raw, tactical data delivered in seconds. These craft are cheap, expendable, and designed to absorb the enemy's first, most desperate shots. Only when the digital chaos is mapped and understood does the human commander make a move. They can also deliver initial supplies and even specialized counter-defenses before Marines step on the sand. The goal is to ensure that by the time the human Marine arrives, the critical threats have already been silenced by machines. The Marines aren't disappearing, but they're multiplying through machines. One human may command a dozen robotic craft.
Splash one target.
Landing zones can be tested, defended, even fought for remotely. The ACV of tomorrow might deploy smaller autonomous scouts before it touches shore. Sending decoys and false radar echoes to confuse enemy targeting. The result? A battlefield where the first to arrive isn't the bravest, it's the most connected. The combat zone is experienced not through the canopy, but through a constant, overwhelming stream of sensor data. These remote systems allow the human operator to control deception, turning one vehicle into a ghost fleet on enemy sensors. Latency, the small delay between action and reaction, is now dictated by microprocessors, not human neurons. The central premise is simple: expend $1 million in hardware to save a single marine life. The ACV itself becomes the tactical brain on the water, feeding direct, low-latency commands to the swarm. The human element may shrink, but its impact multiplies. Tomorrow's Marine sculpts the battlefield from miles away. The war is won not on the beach, but on the interface. Think of amphibious warfare soon as a triad. 1. Surface drones, fast, cheap, and disposable, clearing mines and sensors.
And they get the job done, clearing the obstacles ahead.
2. Aerial drones, eyes and jammers in the sky. 3. Manned vehicles like the ACV, slower, heavier, arriving only after the chaos is mapped and silenced. This outer leisure of expendable machines creates a protective bubble, allowing the costly human-crewed ACV to survive the first enemy barrage. The core mission is mapping. Drones rush in to absorb fire, while simultaneously generating a precise, real-time map of the enemy's defenses and fire zones. The success of the triad depends entirely on data synchronization, making sure the autonomous system speaks with one voice. This triad keeps humans last, not first. For the first time, Marines will avoid the historical necessity of being the initial target, shifting the risk profile entirely onto hardware. For the first time in military history, Marines will enter combat zones already shaped by code. It's still amphibious warfare, just less amphibian, more algorithm. The manned vehicle is the final, protected instrument of force, dedicated to securing the beachhead after the machines have paved the way. The war is no longer about who arrives first, but who arrives safest. The US Navy is experimenting with ghost fleets, ships that sail themselves for weeks. The Marines are next. Imagine an unmanned mothership packed with drones, cruising silently off an enemy coast. It never radios home, it simply receives encrypted bursts from satellites. At a command, it launches hundreds of miniature craft to probe, strike, and vanish. Artificial intelligence doesn't tire, doesn't panic, doesn't wait for daylight. It is capable of executing prolonged missions with absolute tactical efficiency, operating in conditions where human fatigue would be fatal. That's both its strength and its danger, because once algorithms decide when to fight, the critical question is when that decision leaves human hands and becomes purely autonomous. The line between control and chaos blurs with the surf. This autonomous deployment ensures maximum surprise, hitting the enemy before they can fully react to the initial satellite burst. The network is silent. It never waits for daylight or external confirmation to execute a high-priority strike. The future of amphibious warfare is already sailing itself. Tomorrow's amphibious marine may never touch water. They'll pilot machines from bunkers, code tactics on the fly, and wield software the way their predecessors wielded rifles. Physical courage will still matter. Someone must step on shore eventually. But the battlefield will be sculpted by technicians long before boots touch sand. The next generation of Marines won't just carry weapons, they'll be the weapons operating system.
This is a breaking update on the Marine Corps' new VR training program. Officials say the simulated environments are enhancing tactical response times significantly.
They will fight a large part of the war in a virtual battle space, where mistakes cost dollars, not lives. The necessary skill set is changing from muscle memory to network analysis and quick digital decision-making.
Final reflection.
The war still ends on the shore, but the victory is first secured on the screen. The ACV marks the end of one chapter, not the story. Its descendants may glide on air cushions powered by electric drives. Others might fly the last 100 meters as low-altitude drones, skipping waves instead of plowing through them. Armor will shrink, intelligence will grow. The core chassis will give way to the logic board. The future is focused on the mothership concept, a floating autonomous launch bay. Eventually, the vehicle that replaces the ACV might look nothing like a vehicle at all, more like a hive that assembles itself where the Marines need it. The future Marine landing could look less like an invasion and more like an upload.
Welcome back to Futures Report. The ACV descendant is redefining aquatic transport, reaching speeds previously thought impossible while minimizing environmental impact.
Electric propulsion systems will solve the weight problem, offering high speed without the heavy, fuel-hungry diesel engines of the past. New advancements in lightweight composite materials will finally allow armor to exist, alongside true hydroplaning speed. The technological path is clear. The question is no longer if the ACV will be replaced, but when and by what means. Empires have always measured their power by how far they can cross water. The technology changes, the instinct does not. From oars to turbines to code, the sea keeps asking the same question. Can you reach me and survive? The Marines' answer keeps evolving, from the AAV to the EFV to the ACV, and soon to machines that no longer need air to breathe or armor to live.
The ocean doesn't care
what carries them. It only tests whether they can come back.
In our final analysis tonight, the implications of the recent economic indicators cannot be overstated. We are looking at a fundamental realignment of market forces.
If you found this speculative deep dive insightful, subscribe to US Warfare Desk for more analysis on the future of conflict.